What's good? We back with the Boston Clinic and more. Back in the building. I had a subscriber ask me. I remember this name. I would have said, apologize, but he didn't know what I'm talking about. Asked me how does fighters drop that much weight. He asked me on the Crawford video how Crawford's at 177 right now. He's 30 pounds over the 147 limit, and if he's at the 140 limit, he'd be a little bit more over. He'd be 37 pounds over. So he asked, how does boxer cut weight? Back in my day, I used to, work out a little bit. You do a little bit of something. So, people who never worked out or who have a hard time losing weight don't understand how these boxers cut the weight. And one thing I must stress to you, a lot of these guys fight closer to their natural weight in the Olympics. You got to, the amateurs in the Olympics as well. Because it's much more strenuous on your body and you got to weigh in, I think, every fight or something like that. I'm not sure how that worked. And also, you don't have the money and the resources that you have on a pro level. You feel me? You got the best nutritionist, the best physical trainer. You got all the time in the world. When you're an amateur, you got to go to school, you got to eat. Your money might not be right to have the best groceries. And I'm going to get into some more stuff that I hear other pro boxers doing, especially in Sheffield with Dominic Ingle. But a lot of fighters, don't fight at their natural weight or close to their natural weight. Floyd and Pacquiao is, two of the exceptions to the rule. Pacquiao fights above his normal weight most of the time, and Floyd fights right at his natural weight as well as 147. But typically, if you're a light heavyweight, most of the time you're walking around about 200 pounds. Nowadays, probably a little bit more than that. Now, if you're a welterweight, I see a lot of welterweights walking around in the 170, 160 limit, 170, 180 to be honest. So a lot of them go beyond, their weight and drain themselves down. I was hearing Brother Nazim talk about this earlier this year. He said that's where it's hurting guys' careers right there. Because when you drain yourself to get down so low, you taking the fluid out your body, you taking the beating that, your body can't recover, keep putting on and losing the weight and rehydrating, losing the weight, putting on the weight, rehydrating. It's a strain on your body, and it's affecting the longevity of guys' careers who choose to squeeze down extremely too low and hurt their bodies in a long time, and it's really taking miles off their odometer. He right. He says, draining yourself to make the weight is worse than going into a savage war. And if you're going on a savage war and you drain yourself to make the weight, your senses and your abilities and your neurologically, you're gonna be off. Come down the stretch of your career when it's gonna hurt you. And a guy like Bernard Hopkins, who really was at 175 or whatever, lived a good lifestyle and was able to make 160 for so long. And when he no longer can make it or felt like he needed to move up, he moved up at a proper weight class. Why he was able to last so long. He put out Steve Cunningham, a guy who always fought around his natural weight, was able to survive so long. But to get back on cue, these guys have the best nutritionists, everything. Strict dieting. I know Curtis Stevens actually juices all the week of the fight to drop the last couple pounds. He's very, very thick. He was at 168, and then he came down to 160 and went down to 154 now. That's because he drank. He was juicing. He had the right supplements. When you got the right supplements, the right protein and stuff, the right casein, you taking the right amount of protein, you taking the right amount of amino acids, you training right, and you living a clean fighter's lifestyle. You're not cheating on your diet. You're able to drop weight quickly. Trust me, quicker than you think you can. If you take on a strict diet, you're able to eat your vegetables, get the right amount of protein you need, get the right, cut your sodium level, because sodium actually is the reason why a lot of people have pot bellies. Sodium helps you retain water. That's why so much sodium in Gatorade and sports drinks like Gatorade and Powerade, it helps you retain water and not get dehydrated. Drinking Gatorade isn't something you should routinely do unless you're active or you're doing something where you're sweating and you losing those electrolytes, you losing that sodium, and you need your body to retain that water to keep going. A lot of people drank pickle juice before Gatorade and all that stuff was popular, because pickle juice was high in sodium and help you retain that water. But when you're working out every day, you're training, and you're doing physical training in the afternoon, then you hitting the bag, and you doing, working on strategy, that weight gonna roll off. Trust me. The weight will roll off. In 8 weeks, 10, 12, 8 weeks, most guys can drop 20, 30 pounds because they're dedicated, they're diligent, they're disciplined to their diet, they're disciplined to their workout routine. And that's the difference. That's the difference. If you got an everyday routine and you going to work every day, you might not feel like going to work out unless you really build that tolerance, you build that routine to go work out, and you make it a part of your everyday routine to eat right. You at work, you ain't bring a lunch, what you gonna eat? You gonna order some bullshit. And boxers, they don't have to do that. They got personal chefs, nutritionists, and we talk about what they do out there in Sheffield. They test your blood for exactly how much your body type, what type of protein you need, what type of potassium you need. They got it down to the T. That's one of the best nutritionists in the building in Sheffield. That little college they at with Dominic Ingle testing them and know exactly how many miles and how much fat they gonna drop and got a perfect prediction and all that. You know, that's one of the best teams in the business. Kell Brook has been outgrown 147. I don't ever think he was really a welterweight at any point in time, but they did it the right way. They cut the weight the right way where he didn't drain himself. He still could be physically strong. That's why he was able to move up to 160, have a seamless, move up there because they had it down to a science. He looked more healthier in the face. He looked more vibrant. He didn't look drained coming to weight, and he performed pretty well till his face got broke. You know, it's all about your true diligence to your craft and taking training camp serious. Tim Bradley he becomes a vegan for his training camp. He takes out the meat and all the other, animal processed foods or whatever and goes vegan. And that's why he's able to drop the weight. He's a very thick dude as well. He gains a lot of weight in between fights. But staying in shape in between fights and not letting yourself blow out so much is better in your longevity and staying close to your fighting weight and don't have to, worry about the weight battle and worry about just the strategy in the physical battle in the ring and not so much of the weight. It's just something I want to speak on. I heard one of my subs ask and wanted to give him a really, really detailed, opinion on that. And, let me know what y'all think, man, about dropping weight and just, physical fitness and overall. We gone.